What is going on, YouTube people? Northeast Ohio Cards and Comics here today to talk about the wins. We talked about losses yesterday. It's only fair to do the other side and talk about the wins. So we're going to go through, I believe it's 5 cards again and one bonus comic book that I have done the best on this year. And these are going to be in no particular order. And some of these are completed transactions, so the profit is already taken. Some are cards that I have not moved yet, which that always gets tricky because it's easy to sit here and say on a spreadsheet or an app or whatever that look at how well I have done on this card. It is up X percentage, but I haven't actually sold it yet. So I got a couple of those. I didn't want to go too hard into those. To me, it's more about when you actually complete the transaction of the sell and take the profit back out. That's the important part, not just the sitting inventory, if that makes sense. So with all that being said, like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube jazz down below, and let me know your best and biggest wins this season, whether it's a completed transaction or something that you bought at the low that is still way up or, whatever. So first up, and once again, no particular order, we're going to start with cards that I still own, which I have 2 that we're going to discuss. The first, and I'm cheating because there's actually 2 of the same card. It's the Juan Soto Topps Chrome Pink Update Refractor right at the top of the page here. And I'm in Market Movers under my collection tool under cards that I currently own. And once again, my parameters for this are cards that I purchased in 2021, not stuff that I purchased earlier than that. As you can obviously see, my Giannis rookie that I purchased in 2019 is up 133%. I don't care about that in 2019. The Soto Pinks, though, I picked these up at the National. This was a combo deal. I traded a Vlad Sapphire BGS 9.5 True Gem and $500 cash. And I got $1,100 in trade value on the Vlad. And that's basically exactly what I was into the Vlad for. I think I bought it on eBay for $10.50, and then with shipping and tax, it ended up being $1,100. So I moved that and $500 cash into 2 Soto Pinks from the same dealer. I think that was Indie Baseball Card Exchange. I don't remember. Really nice table, really nice guys to work with. And those have done quite well. And this has worked out both directions. One, the Vlad Sapphire is currently down to about $900. So that lost $200 in value. These, on the flip side, have gone up. You can see on the pair, I paid $1,600 for them in trade plus cash, and the current value is almost $2,400 for a profit of, or a net, if you will. I haven't taken a profit yet. I'm up $770 on that, a 48% increase in value. And I think you can see the last sale on that was $1,216. I believe there's around 1 running at auction right now that is actually going a little bit higher than that, or it's right at that point already. So I expect the next sale to be over $1,200. Love this card. Once again, I have 2 of them. I would like to move 1 prior to the season starting, but I am in no rush, and I don't have to move 1. The power of buying multiples leaves you tons of options. So love myself some Soto. I am perfectly good holding on to him. The second one, we're going to go down here to this LeBron Topps Chrome Refractor PSA 9 2004 second year. Now, this card has actually come down since I traded for it. I traded into it at, I think, $2,200 or $2,300 trade value from one of my local dealers, Jeff, who frequent viewer of the channel. So I'm still up $400 on it. It's actually, this is, the tricky part about last sale. So the last sale on this was $1,124. I would actually expect this card to go down slightly. There is a buy it now sitting at $17.99 on eBay. So even though the last comp is $1,850, it's not really a real number when there's one sitting on eBay at $1,800 because LeBron stuff has come down. So that's a 28% return, which you might say, well, Rob, that's not like a huge return. Like, why is this on the list? The key here isn't so much about how much of this card is currently up. It's more about what I gave up for it. The stuff that I traded away for it, if you remember, was, and I traded for this back in early October, a Baker National Treasures RPA booklet, which at the time I got $500 trade value for. I think the last one sold for like $200. And I moved a lot of base stuff, which, once again, for Jeff makes sense. The dealer, it's a lot easier for him to move a couple $100 of individual base cards and lower value parallels than it is a high-end LeBron refractor. It's just kind of a nature of the game. The price point is more acceptable to a greater number of people. You know, a Luka Optic base PSA 10 is going to be easier for him to move than this. So I traded a couple Luka bases for this, Luka Revolution PSA 10, some other stuff. That stuff at today's value has come way down, like way down. So even though this has trended down since I got it, it's still a pretty big win for me because of the stuff that I got off of to get this card. And I believe this card holding value long term, even if it comes down a little bit, I still believe in this card long term, more so than the stuff that I gave up. So those are the two cards that I still currently own that have been, you know, two really, really good plays, pickups, whatever the hell you want to call them. Let's move into some stuff that I actually sold. No surprise here, the poster child of the channel, the Vlad colors. You know, we'll start here. The purple was the first one that I got. I got this one on 6/19. I bought this locally at a show. The story behind this card was I was not looking for it, but I saw the price for it. It didn't check out with what other stuff was going for. I felt the dealer was using an old comp for it, which Vlad's stuff had gone way up. But since this was numbered out of 299 and doesn't sell very often, one had not moved in a while. And I thought that it was a much closer to a $1,500 to $1,600 card. Purchased this for $10.50. Sold it 6 days later on, I don't remember where I sold this from. It wasn't on eBay, though. It was off eBay. I think it was on IG or Facebook. Sold it for $1,700, a $650 return in 6 days, 62% increase. And then I took the money from that and bought the blue, plus kicked in a little bit extra. So $1,700. I purchased the blue on 7/2 a couple days later for $2,100. And once again, this just seemed completely mispriced. This was one where the guy had it up on my slabs for $3K. I had seen that he had also had a purple priced at about $2K. And then I saw the purple sold and he accepted a very low offer on the purple. So I sent a lowball offer on the blue. We went back and forth and he accepted at $2,100. And I felt like I stole this card. And I did. A month later, I sold it for $3,400, once again off eBay. This was also a Facebook deal or a Discord. I sold this on the SCI Discord. $3,400. That was straight cash, no PayPal fees, no nothing. So a $1,300 return, 62% on that one. I didn't realize that I made 62% on both those. That's kind of funny. And this card has actually maintained value. The last couple eBay sales on the Vlad Blue have been right at that number, 3,400, 3,500, 3,600. It has held extremely well. Has not gone up, though. It has basically sat right in that middle 3K mark. Gorgeous card. I was sad to let this one go, but it was the right play to move it, to make, you know, over $1,300 in less than a month on a card was just a no-brainer to me. I would like one back at some point in time, maybe even just a PSA 9. That card was absolutely stunning to have in hand. Even the purple was really nice. I wouldn't mind getting another Vlad purple. I just really like the way that card looked. I do miss it, but once again, it was the smart play, and I can always buy it back. So those were by far and away my two best. You know, maybe not necessarily percentage-wise. I'm sure I had some lower dollar stuff that had a higher percentage, but just in terms of pure dollars coming back. And it was just a matter of finding low pop cards that I believed were mispriced or not priced correctly and taking advantage of that. So that was those two. And then another one is, we're going to scroll down a little bit here. This LeBron Chalk Toss. I bought this back in January 21st of 2021. So way back in the beginning of the year. This was when LeBron stuff was starting to go crazy and his stuff was jumping. And this is a base paper PSA 9. I had saw his stuff was going crazy. I wanted a chalk toss really bad, and I said, I better get on this now before the prices get too insane. So I actually bought 2 of them for $400 ish total. I paid basically $200 for each of them. I think I got this one for $210, and I got another one for $190. And then his prices went nuts, as we all know, through February and into March. And then his stuff started coming down. And because I had multiples, I sold one. So I took one and sold it. I got $625 for it after eBay. I sold this on eBay. I got that. This was after eBay fees and everything. So that was 162% return, $340 profit. And the big thing there was just having the more than one of them to give myself options. And I'm sorry, it was actually $340 of profit. There was $75 in eBay fees on that. So it was $625 on eBay, then minus the fees. Usually when I put stuff in here, I just factor the fees out automatically. I forgot that I did that on this one. So that did have some eBay fees on it. So, but still $340 profit, 162%. But this was the power of buying multiples. Because I had 2 of them, I was willing to let one go, take the profit, and then I was basically free rolling the other one. I was into the other one for $200. I made $340 on this one. So now the other one was essentially free, and I had $140 in cash, and I still had the card in my hand. Now, that one I did end up trading. I moved that for, I think I traded that at Ship Shawana for the Vlad Prism PSA 10 that I have, and cash. I'm pretty sure is the trade that I made there. Now that one, I really didn't make any money on. I think I got out of it exactly what I was into it for. I have to double check the video that I recorded, but I believe I traded that one. I think I got $200 in trade value for it and kicked in $200 in cash for a $400 Vlad Prism PSA 10 Topps Chrome, but I don't remember. But needless to say, I made the money on the first one, so I was free to ride the second one out. And I actually just really wanted the card. I wanted a chalk toss. So I was fine holding on to it. Now, eventually I upgraded to the Chrome chalk toss, which I traded, and then eventually upgraded to the Refractor PSA 9 chalk toss, which I still have. So that one's not going anywhere. So that was number 5 on the, best buys / flips / whatever you want to call them. Like I said, there's other stuff on here that's higher percentage, but it all depends on when you bought it. And a lot of it was raw to grade, like these KPJs, but those were bought back in 2020. So I have other ones that I've made more money on percentage wise, but these were some of the nicer chunks of change, especially the 2 Vlads. Now, bonus comic book. New Mutants 98, the poster child of the channel when it comes to comic book talk. I purchased this back in January for $1,200. This is the first appearance of Deadpool for those not familiar with it. CGC 9.8. Mine actually has the cool custom label. Got this for $1,200 back in early January, right when I first dove into comic book content and kind of digging into that market. This was one that I felt was off, not priced correctly. Snagged it, and it has maintained value fairly well. Now, it did go higher. During its peak, this got up over, I think, almost to $3K or high 2s, mid to high 2s. Currently sits at $1,800 and is basically leveled out at $1,800. This book has been $1,800 for a while now. And I don't see this one going much lower than $1,800, to be quite honest. The demand for this book is very high, even though it is a higher census count book, but the demand is so much there for it that it kind of balances out, because Deadpool's an extremely popular character and he'll be coming to the MCU. So other than the Ultimate Fallout 4, I have done pretty well on comic books. I haven't necessarily, nothing's gone crazy to the moon. This one has held the value the best / I've done the best on. Most of the stuff has stayed relatively stable overall. If you look at my total comic book collection, I am slightly up, probably about 10% or so on my total collection, give or take. But like I talked about before, those are ultimate long-term holds. To me, that is vintage sports cards, is how I view comic books. So that's all I have for you guys and girls today. Once again, curious for your best and biggest wins in the comments down below, and we will catch you guys and girls on the next one. Peace.